This is the Metro on WDET, broadcasting from the Cass Corridor in Detroit. I'm Robin Vincent.
And I'm Tia Graham. Today on the program, from the hardwood to the classroom, Jalen Rose joins us to talk legacy, leadership, and leveling the playing field in Detroit and beyond.
Plus, he's rethinking justice at the county level. Now, Ellie Savitt wants to take that fight statewide as Michigan's next Attorney General.
Also in politics, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is under fire.
And it could shape the early narrative of Michigan's biggest race.
But first, prom is an exciting time for high school seniors here in Metro Detroit. It's a rite of passage, a moment to celebrate hard work, friendships, and the end of one chapter before beginning another. But for many families, prom doesn't just come with emotional weight. It comes with a financial one. Parents often spend thousands of dollars to get their kids ready for the big night. And if there's more than one kid in the house, the cost can quickly get out of reach. Mackenzie Thompson is the founder of the Prom Promise, an initiative dedicated to making prom more accessible for students across Detroit. Inspired by her own joyful prom experience, Mackenzie created a program that covers everything from hair and makeup to dresses, nails, and photography, all at no cost to participating students. Those students are not chosen only based on financial need, but also on their academics, leadership, and personal stories. Mackenzie, welcome to the Metro.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Of course. Now, we talked a little bit beforehand. Both of us have gone to charter school. So what part of Detroit are you from?
The East Side.
What high school did you go to?
I attended Chandler Park Academy High School, where the Prom Promise actually is functioning right now.
Oh, yeah. And that's the perfect segue there. Talk about your time at Chandler Park Academy and how it inspired you to create the Prom Promise.
So I'm what they call a forever Eagle. So I matriculated all the way from elementary school to middle school to high school. So I'm a forever Eagle.
Yeah.
And CPA has given me so much. I was very active there in student leadership and athletics, and they helped me get scholarships. And I'm a first generation college student as well. So
Shout
just
out.
Graduated last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So they helped me so much. So once I graduated from college last year, I was like, I have to go back and give back to the community that gave so much to me and basically shaped the person that I am today.
Which is an amazing thing. Once again, I'm hearing a lot more Detroiters staying home or coming back home to help build the communities that raised us. So as prom culture becomes more elaborate and personalized, you're thinking about how to grow the Prom Promise with group send-off, services for young men, and even more ways to build community around this special moment in student lives. Why is prom culture so elaborate in your opinion?
I think it's just a big celebration. We've been in school for so long, and prom is just kind of like that wrap up end of the year celebration to just celebrate all of those accomplishments over the years. So I think people just are like, why, go big or go home. Like, you've put in the work all of these years. Like, we've seen you sacrifice. We've seen you go to the practices and the games and keep up with the grades and run for this court and do this. So it's just a celebration of all of those accomplishments. And I think people are like realizing like this was a lot. Graduated from high school is a big accomplishment, and it deserves to be celebrated just like that.
Exactly. And can you talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that you've seen afforded to some of the girls and boys that you've been able to help?
Yeah, so just being able to honestly just mentally just seeing the girls transform from the beginning and just see their confidence grow over time and just building those relationships with the girls. So this year we're sponsoring 5 girls to go to prom. So it's 5 different personalities to learn, 5 different families to learn. And so just watching them just grow in this program over the last few months has just been amazing just to see their growth and just talk about how excited they are to go to college, and then like how I can be able to help them. Like one of our recipients, she's a journalism major and I was a journalism major. Yay. So I'm like, girl, like we got to stay connected. I'm going to help you out and give you all these resources. And then another recipient, her focus will be marketing. And I was talking to her about like possibly helping the Prom Promise out during the summers and like possibly having an internship for her as well. So it's more than just, just one night of prom. This is like relationship building and just being able to grow with them over the years as well.
Community building right now through prom culture, which you can find so many ways to build community when you're looking for creative outlets. And prom is truly a creative outlet. So you were able to sponsor 5 young women this year, each different personalities. Let's talk about the importance of letting the young women, especially the 5 young women who received dresses and the whole 9 yards for prom, about their confidence and about knowing that they are allowed to have these amazing dresses and amazing makeup and hair and nails, and that it's not out of reach for them.
Yeah, that's what my number one goal is, to just make sure that prom is accessible for everyone who wants to attend. You know, it's so expensive to go to prom, and that's our number one goal, is to kind of like eliminate that financial barrier to prom. And so it's just so exciting to see some of the girls have like their Pinterest boards of like their dress and their hair and the makeup, and just kind of like trying to match the personality with the dress and the personality with the nails, and which hairstylist will she be able to like, you know, feel comfortable with, or just because some of them have different hairstyles. We have someone with locks, someone who wears just natural hair. So just trying to find the right people for them as well, and that the right stylist too, to actual like work with us and partner with us, that'll be able to provide those services for them, because for most of the girls, it's their first time being pampered, first time having a professional, you know, hair experience, going to a salon for the first time. So I want to make sure they're like comfortable, you know, and feel safe in that space as well. So it's just been so exciting just to see like their faces light up and just talk about prom and just be so excited to go. And it's not even here yet, so I can't wait until the day that it is actually here, which is next Friday.
Which is, once again, an amazing experience to see those young girls light up. I had a conversation, which we will talk about later after this segment, actually, with a young woman who's going to prom this Friday, and she just talked about her love for finding her dress and finding a stylist for her dress. Can you talk about when the girls first experienced their time with a seamstress, or even seeing themselves being fitted in dresses?
Yeah. So this year we were able to partner with CDK Creations, who is widely known in the Detroit area for styling Cash Doll and many other artists. So her team was able to provide a custom one-of-one gown for one of our girls. So just being able to just see her, you know, go into a store and like be comfortable, and like, you know, a lot of teenagers nowadays are like self-conscious, you know, about their body and their image and stuff. So just being able to see her like be comfortable and just have this experience was just so fulfilling to me. And CDK is amazing. She's so sweet. She's so welcoming, and she makes the girls feel so comfortable. So I'm very grateful for their partnership, and I'm hoping that this is something that can, you know, go on for years to come. But just being able to see them and like their image that they had in their mind, like come to light, is just amazing. Because, you know, some people, they didn't think that they would be able to even like have a dress, let alone a custom dress from like this big seamstress, you know, that's like widely known in the area. So that's just amazing.
It is amazing. You know, got me thinking about going my prom, or even my niece's prom. I remember my niece had a $700 dress, and it was a gorgeous dress. Don't get me wrong. It was a $700 dress. And I just remember being so excited that I could actually fit into the dress. I had an event to go to. So I said, I'm rocking. We're going to get $700 worth out of this dress. So I think a few of us actually put that dress on. But you're listening to The Metro on WDET. I'm Tia Graham. We're talking about prom season with Mackenzie Thompson, the founder of the Prom Promise. And this year you're sponsoring 5 young women. What advice would you give young women who felt or feel discouraged about attending prom due to financial constraints?
You know, people want to help you. You know, there's a lot of people. We have Detroit as a great hub for help and community. You know, I just seen a post on Facebook yesterday. A young lady needs a prom dress because hers didn't come in time. The post had over like 200 something shares. Yeah, I got so many people tagging me in the comments as well too, trying to help this young lady. So the help is there. You just can't be afraid to ask. You know, I like to live by the worst thing that somebody can say to you is no, and that's like the worst thing that could happen. So imagine if you like ask and put yourself out there and you get a yes, or like say you can have a custom dress, or you can have these shoes too, or I can do the hair. You know, you never know. So never be afraid to ask for help, because there are people out there willing to help you. You just have to ask. Don't be afraid. You know, the worst thing that can happen is someone say no, or if they do say no, maybe they can point you in the direction of someone else. Maybe they just didn't have the capacity to help you, but they can point you into the direction of somebody else, and that might open more doors than the ones they were able to offer you. So never be afraid to ask for help, you know?
And Mackenzie, I think about prom season, of course, we're talking about, making sure that the young women feel confident. Now, talk about your experience at prom, because it was only a few years ago. We're really thinking about it. But what was it like for you, and why did you want to make sure that other young women had a memorable night like you had?
So, yes, I graduated in 2019, so like the last quote-unquote normal year before COVID.
Yeah, you won that. You got there and went that one in there.
Yeah, so prom was magical for me. I loved prom. I'm such a girly girl, though. Like, just from a young age, I've always worn dresses and heels, even in high school. Like, I was wearing dresses and heels to school. Such a girly girl, glitz and glams girl. So prom was I don't know. It was just so magical for me, just being able to get my hair done, my makeup done, and I had this nice dress and a beautiful car. And then I was also prom queen for my school. Yes, class of 2019. So that was an amazing feeling as well, just being able to just, you know, feel the love from my school and my community. Like, these are the people I basically grew up with, because a lot of people stay at CPA from elementary through high school. So just being around my peers and being able to celebrate in that moment was so special. And I just want other people to feel that, you know, like, you deserve to feel that. You deserve to feel like celebrated and seen. Like, you deserve to feel valued, like, you know. And I just want to give that experience to these girls who may not, you know, otherwise have that opportunity, because you deserve it. You know, I just want them to know that they are seen, they deserve to be celebrated and feel like worthy and valued.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about the Chandler Park community in general. You talk about all of you all starting out in elementary school, kind of growing together with one another, which is something that you don't hear often anymore. There aren't many quote unquote feeder schools, or schools that kids are just going from from middle school to elementary school and onwards. So can you talk about what that experience was like for you, especially as you say, leaving prom, or that senior year and leaving prom, you had your whole community around you.
So I'm still friends with my high school friends till this day. We was just all together like last weekend. So these are some people that I was been friends with since second grade. Like, these are like my family members at this point, like my sisters, my brothers. I remember just having study nights at my house. My parents used to open our garage, and we had tables in our garage, and like people from our class would come over and we would study in the garage. My house is kind of like the party house. So I remember having like Halloween parties in our basement, and just going skating with each other. And when we all got our first cars, like, we was out.
You grew up. Your parents made sure to have a community for you. You had a built-in community. Your parents were striving to at least grow for you.
Yeah. So I'm so grateful to my family and my friends, because without them, like, none of this would kind of be possible, especially the community as well. But when I brought the idea to my friends and my family, nobody ever questioned me or said, like, this is crazy, like, how are you gonna do this? They was like, no, like, how can we help you do this? Like, we want to see this idea come to life as well. And it's just like, this is just bigger than just me, you know. This is my family, my mom, my dad, like my grandma, my cousins, my sister, like, they're all watching, you know, me. And like, a lot of people want to give back. They don't know how or what ways they can give back. So this is a way for them to give back too, you know. And it's very meaningful and impactful, because it's like a family thing. Like, we're all family over here. Like you said earlier, we're building community, like, with these girls. So now they're a part of this family as well. So
It's just a beautiful thing to hear. Is one thing about Detroit is that we're going to make sure that we are teaching people underneath us. We're making sure that we're bringing community together, no matter what it is, and no matter how we're doing it. We're going to make sure that we're working together. So before we do start to get towards the end of this conversation, I do want to talk to you about the Prom Promise in the future, because it's relatively new, yet you've been able to really gain some popularity and traction. So let's just talk about where you are right now with the Prom Promise and where you would like to see yourself.
You know, it's so crazy, because last night I was literally like writing a list of like all of the things that we were able to accomplish this year. And it has been like a huge jump from last year. Last year we sponsored one girl. This year we're sponsoring 5 girls. We've raised over like $1,000+ in donations. We've collected 30+ dresses, and like we've had all of these media, features, and we've collaborated with CDK, and the Lip Bar is a sponsor as well. So they'll be sponsoring the girls to get facials and their makeup done. So it's just like, I don't even know, like, how did this happen? I'm just still like just trying to put it together in my mind, like what is going on? But it's only year two too. Like, we just started this last year, and this is only the second year. So I can't imagine like next year and like, how it will be in the future. But for me personally, a few goals that I have is to expand to other schools in Metro Detroit, because right now we're just at CPA, which is my alma mater, but I had to take care of them first and make sure
exactly.
they're okay first. But then I want to expand to more schools. I want to expand to more collaborations with brands, Glamaholic Lifestyle, Mia Ray, if you're listening. Beauty brands like Fenty Beauty, the Crayon Case, event spaces around the city, caterers, because I do want to do like a community prom send-off as well. This year we're not sponsoring any prom send-offs because it was just too many girls. Yeah. But in the future I would love to have, if we sponsor this amount of girls again, to have a community prom send-off with DJ, food, decorations, all the things. I will also like a hub, like a community hub or space as well for us to have like a kind of like a headquarters, if we have dresses, donations, people can come and drop their dresses off there. We can do the hair and the makeup and the nails there. So, I'm thinking big.
Yes, and long-term and permanent for the community as a fixture. And lastly, this is a personal plug where we're going to see some adult proms too. I would love an adult prom.
You know what? I can work on that for you.
Yes. I'm like, I want to get dressed up too. I want to get glam too.
Yeah, because my sister was a victim of the COVID prom era.
See, some people need their proms back.
So maybe I could, collab with her on something and work something out for the COVID people too.
Exactly. Mackenzie Thompson is the founder of the Prom Promise. Mackenzie, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro and explaining to folks the importance of prom and prom season.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Coming up, we'll continue our conversation about prom season in Detroit with the high school seniors celebrating this Friday. This is the Metro. We'll be right back.
Detroit is my home. It is my anchor. I fly and yo-yo myself out to Zimbabwe, to Paris. I always come back because this is home.
I was telling my mom that I read that Detroit is no longer on the list of like one of the most violent or dangerous places anymore. And I can feel that. And so I am so proud of Detroit as it moves forward and becomes a deeper, more fuller version of itself. And I'll be carrying that badge with me forever.
No more trials and tribulations. That's covered. I think a lot about our ancestors who were enslaved. How do you even envision transcending that for yourself or for future generations? If they could do that, like, think about what we can do based on where we are.
Those were the voices of guests who've been on the Metro. Welcome back to the show. I'm Tia Graham. Now, prom season is such an important time for students. It's considered a rite of passage. Detroit is known for being fashionable, and that love for fashion and adornment extends down to the youngest people, especially during prom season. Jillian Jones is a senior at Renaissance High School, and she stays booked and busy. Jillian is the president of the Student Senate, a varsity cheerleader, one of the valedictorians of her class, and so much more. The list of activities she's involved in is very, very long, and now she's celebrating prom. Yesterday, Jillian took time out of her busy life to chat about Renaissance and its upcoming prom this Friday.
So our prom dance happens every year. We have a prom committee, which is led by Dr. Bridges, which is one of our science teachers. And I don't know when they start, but they are planning our prom, I'm assuming from around January until now. Our theme this year is Northern Lights, and it will be held at the International Banquet and Conference Center downtown. And it's a big thing at my school. We have our annual lineup, which we do where everyone can come and see each other's dresses, their suits. Everyone has nice cars, and they all do these big send-offs. I'm planning my prom send-off this week or for this Friday, and it's a really big thing, getting the dresses, getting the makeup appointments, the hair, the nails, all of it. So it's a big thing at our school.
You got your prom lineups. You're seeing what everyone else is wearing, and you're seeing how things are vibing. Talk a little bit about what that's like for you. I mean, this is your senior year. This is your last time being with your peers in this way. So can you talk about what it feels like?
In terms of lineups, I've been to the lineup. I went my sophomore year and my junior year, and it was really nice to see the different seniors wearing their outfits. But I didn't really get a feeling of like this is going to be me until this year. A couple of days ago, I went to Cass's prom lineup. They had their prom on Saturday, and I attended their lineup. And I have a bunch of friends that go to Cass, so it was really different for me seeing my friends in their prom dresses with their makeup done, looking really nice, and it really got me excited for my own prom. So I think it's exciting is the word that I would use to describe it, just being able to see your friends and see your peers that you've been going to school with for 4 years all dressed up in their nice dresses, and it's really exciting for me.
And for you, when did you start prepping for your prom?
So I would say I started around, in terms of like dresses and nails and stuff and shoes, I would say March. I am getting my dress custom made, so I didn't go to one of the different prom stores where they already have dresses. So I've had a bunch of appointments. I had my inspiration that I showed my dressmaker. His name is Mr. James. I showed him my inspiration, and he immediately got to work. My last prom fitting that I had was yesterday, and I think I have another one either today or tomorrow, just for the finishing touches. But it's been a journey. My mom has been working hard to plan my send off. She got me our venue, a decorator, the food and drinks and the music. So she's been working really hard to make sure that everything goes really smoothly for me. But I would say around the decorating and the venues, we would say around January, and then for the dress and the shoes, that would be around March.
You know, being a senior at Renaissance, you said you've seen, you went your sophomore year, you went your junior year, now you're going your senior year. How much has it changed since you were, in those different years?
So I would say going to the lineup my sophomore year, I noticed more of the jeweled dress at the top with a plain color, or not plain, but the jewels on the top with a specific color on the bottom that kind of aligned with whatever the person wanted. And then last year, I would say I noticed more classic dresses with an applique or a design or a jewel here and there. And then this year, I think I've noticed, like I said, the flowers or the different designs that are kind of upholstered onto the dress. So I would say throughout the different years, the style of dresses that people have worn are different.
Now, when you talk about the dress and it's custom made, where are you getting it custom made? Is it in Detroit locally?
Yes, it is. I'm unsure of his last name, but I go to Mr. James. He's located really close to our school, actually, around that 7 Mile area. So, yeah, I've been going to him. Last year, my best friend went to him to get her dress made, and my cousin went to him to get his suit made for prom. So he does all custom. Really, whatever you want, he can make it. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that there's a word of mouth person. You said Mr. James?
Yes,
Mr. James. He must be bad. Mr. James must be bad. So
he is.
He has to be. So for folks who don't understand what the send-offs are, and they're hearing you talk about halls, getting a location rented out and all this other thing, can you talk about to the people what that means to have that type of feeling going into prom, especially as you're ending your senior year?
So I would say it is a good feeling for me in terms of my send-off. I think it's going to be fun for my family to come and be able to see me, because I see my friends at school every day. I see my underclassmen friends, the friends who are in the same grade as me. I see them every day, but a lot of times my family doesn't get to see me get sent off to a really nice event. As far as homecoming, that was the last time I would say I got all dressed up and had my hair done, makeup, and all that kind of stuff. And it was more so just my mom who saw me leave and maybe my best friend or my cousin. So it's like for this, I would say it's good for my family to be able to come and see me, send me off to prom, give me all the well wishes, be safe, have a good time. So I think that's the biggest thing about a send-off. It's good for your family to be able to come and see you.
You're listening to The Metro on 1019 WDET-FM. I'm Tia Graham. We're talking about prom season with a high school senior at Renaissance High School, Jillian Jones. Now, Jillian, do you think these celebrations are a form of self-expression for students or maybe even a rite of passage?
I would say both. I would say it's a self-expression for students because a lot of times, well, not even a lot of times, for everyone, the dress that you pick or the dress that you land on, it spoke to you in some way. So it shows the kind of personality that you have. If I'm wearing a red dress, it shows that I'm bold and I'm not scared. I have a lot of confidence. If I'm wearing a yellow dress, it shows that I'm sunshine. I have positivity. So the dress, the way you wear your hair, that's how you express yourself. But I also think it is a rite of passage because, coming from freshman year, seeing all of my senior friends go to prom, going to their send-offs, it was like, this is something that I look forward to. So now that I am a senior, it kind of is a rite of passage to show I worked hard for 4 years and now I made it in a sense.
So hearing you talk about your send-off, Jillian, when you hear folks saying, that's doing too much or prom isn't worth all of that, what do you say to that?
So I would say I definitely do understand them because I'm a very simple, I'm very classic. I like to keep it low key, but I do think it's a really important aspect of being a senior is just having people be able to come and see you because you're only able to be a senior once. So you have to do it in the biggest way possible. So people may say it's too much or you're doing too much, but it's really never too much when you can't get this time back. There's no way to go back and redo your senior year, redo your only prom that you get. So it's really not too much when you think about it in that kind of aspect.
And oftentimes when we talk about the Metro, we often talk about the audacity, especially being in a majority Black city, for Black people to adorn themselves, dress in the way that they want to, and do it in a lavish way. Isn't an audacity to that? So can you talk about the Detroit flair that is added to prom?
I would say the dress style that we have, I think this year I've seen a lot of, I say flowers, not in the sense of fabric flower, but I've seen flowers with the jewels, and they're like handcrafted. I know a lot of people that went to cast. I have friends that cast, so that's why I speak of them. But a lot of my friends that just went to prom, their dresses had handmade flowers made with jewels and different materials that make it look very elegant and very, very lavish, as you said, very over the top. But it's like, it's perfect. A lot of people, they get their Louis, their Gucci's, everybody has their buffs. It's like all the designer. This is your time to come, step, show out, and just basically show everybody, oh, I'm having it like that. Like I have my buffs on, I have my Louis shoes, Louis belt, Louis shirt. Like the boys, my one friend, he had buffs off a Louis tie, Louis shirt, and he had a nice cream suit, top and bottom. It was very classy. But then his shoes were Louis too. So it's like you tie it all in with that designerness and that lavishness, the extravagance.
I mean, as you're speaking, I was clapping in the background, snapping my finger because
okay.
I just remember seeing my nieces being sent off not too long ago, and there was this young girl, and she had this beautiful ostrich feather dress on, and I'll never forget that dress. And I just thought to myself, this is how she's setting up the rest of her life, and this is how you all are setting up the rest of your lives. You're going into adulthood lavishly. What does it feel like being able to send yourself off, your friends off? You keep talking about Cass Tech. I know that's your rivals, but you got homies there. But when you get to see this, and it's your senior year, but y'all about to be fly out there. So can we just go into what it feels like, especially for your confidence, looking like that?
I think the biggest thing is something that you just mentioned was just being unforgettable. Someone seeing your look, someone seeing your dress, your hair, your makeup, your nails, and remembering saying, oh, that was Jillian. She had on that beautiful dress, or her hair was done to a T. So just remembering and having people not even having to look back at a picture, that's good, but also knowing like, oh, yeah, I saw her at her send-off. I saw her at the lineup, and she just looked unforgettable.
So as we continue to talk about prom, you said this Friday you're going to your send-off?
Yes.
Okay. So what does that day look like for you already? How is it shaping up?
It actually really starts tomorrow. I'm getting my nails done tomorrow, and I'm getting my eyebrows done tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I have a chill day until the nighttime. I'm getting my hair installed at 6:30. And then on Friday morning, I'm getting my hair curled, and then I'm getting my makeup done. And then my mom, after prom, I'm getting a hotel with my friends. And so my mom we're going to go there earlier in the morning so I can have my get dressed there. She can help me get ready. And that's in the Southfield area, which is where my send-off is. So now I'll go from there after getting ready to my send-off, take pictures with my friends and my family, and then I'll go to the lineup. From the lineup, I'll go to the actual prom dance, and then after, we'll see where the night takes me.
As we talk about planning, are you all done, especially the students done with your portion of planning for prom?
Yes, so I would say me personally, I am done because I have my dress. I'll be picking that up today or tomorrow. All of my appointments are set, so I would say I'm pretty much done on that aspect. Me and my mom did realize 2 days ago that I don't have a corsage, but she's the make it happen queen, so she's going to figure that out for me. But I would say that's the last little piece. But as far as my location, my catering, the desserts, all of that for my send off, everything else, my car, all of that is pretty much set. And I assume for other students, they have everything set as well, because we are, our school isn't too big, but it is a lot of us going to prom, and there may be other schools that have prom that day too. So I know people wanted to make sure that they have all of their things set as in terms of their cars and their venues and stuff.
And we are talking about prom season, but this is, once again, your senior year. So, after prom, after you're done, what are you looking forward to?
So our prom graduation turnaround time is very quick. So I will be graduating next Wednesday. So that's pretty quick. I'm really excited for that. And then actually the week after that, I will be going to my new student orientation because I will be attending North Carolina A&T in the fall. And so I have my new student orientation on June 2nd and June 3rd. And then right after that, I have my open house or graduation party, however you want to call it. I have that on June 8th. And then right after that, I will be going down to North Carolina for the whole summer on June 23rd for an engineering summer program. So I have everything pretty much planned out for the rest of this summer. So I'm excited for that.
And Jillian, lastly, what would you tell soon-to-be high school graduates about prom?
I think the biggest thing I would say is just follow who you are and stay true to yourself. Because I know for me, I know my dress isn't as extravagant as other dresses that I've been seeing, but it's the type of dress that I wanted to wear. So I would say just follow your style and kind of be who you want to be on your prom day, because you only get one. So don't let other people dictate what you wear or what you want to do.
That was Jillian Jones, a senior at Renaissance High School. Jillian will be headed to prom this Friday. Coming up, can progressive reform scale in a purple state? Ellie Savitt is running for Michigan Attorney General to find out. We'll be right back on the Metro. Stay right there.